When a Spanish family tore down a wall on their patio, they found the entrance to an ancient world. Today, Carmona is a trading town specializing primarily in olive oil, wine, cattle, and grain. Every April, this industry comes to the forefront when the city holds a trade fair, where visitors can try the town's delicious food at many historical sites. Carmona is one of the oldest towns in all of Europe. People have lived there continuously for almost 5,000 years, from the prehistoric era to the present day. The Tertian people, the Carthaginians, and the Romans were among the ancient civilizations that lived there. The tower became part of the Roman Empire during the Punic Wars, which happened between 264 BC and 146 BC. Julius Caesar even wrote about Carmona in his History of the Roman Civil War, which took place between 49 BC and 48 BC. Carmona was a strategic stronghold for the Romans because it was high up on a plateau, which gave it a good view of the Forum, was the center of civil life in Carmona, which the Romans called Carmo. This is where the town's market and most important places of worship were located. Carmona also had a theater and public baths where people could have fun and relax. As the first century ended, the Roman Empire had a period of relative peace that made towns like Carmona stable. This time is called the Pax Romana. The Pax Romana was Carmona's most culturally important time, and its effects can still be seen today. A cemetery was also found in the 1880s by George Bonser. The Roman necropolis of Carmona has over 900 tombs for specific families. These tombs were built between the 2nd century BC and the 4th century AD. Many graves were painted and made with niches for funeral urns. A number of these tombs were found in good condition. With the help of Spanish scholar Juan Fernandez Lopez Bonser, the cemetery was excavated soon after it was found. The Roman necropolis ruins in Carmona can still be seen today. There is still a museum with interesting artifacts and information about the town's history for visitors and people who live there. Its rich cultural history is evident all over the town, but it turns out that resident Jose Aviles and his family lived closer to Roman history than they even knew. In August 2019, they were renovating their home when they found ancient relics behind a wall on their patio. The find was so crucial that Aviles had to tell the authorities about it. Archaeologist Juan Manuel, who works for the City Council of Carmona, told the Spanish newspaper ABC to Sevilla about the find. He said, "I couldn't sleep because I knew the police were guarding the house, but I was in bed thinking and turning my head until 4 in the morning when I decided to come here." Roman was excited about the finds, and Aviles was too. In an interview with a newspaper, he said he felt the same way when he saw the discovery. He also said that he didn't sleep much on Tuesday night. The discovery was made when work was being done on Aviles' property, and Avail was the one who noticed that a door to an unknown chamber had opened up. It had 8 niches and holes in the wall used to display things. In this case, 6 of the niches were filled with funeral urns made of glass or different types of stone. Lead containers protected the urns, and 3 had inscriptions that might have been the names of the people for whom they were made. The ashes inside the urns would have been in keeping with Roman traditions of the Feria. Roman later talked to ABC in Sevilla about the interior of the burial chamber. He said it was well kept, with geometric patterns on the vaults and walls. Because of this, the archaeologist couldn't say enough about how important the find was and how it could change our understanding of how the Romans died. During his interview with ABC, he said Roman quickly pointed out how important the find was. He said it had been 35 years since the tomb was found in such a good condition. According to Roman, the vault showed no signs of decay and had only 2 fingers worth of sediment. Romans thought the tomb might have been part of a larger complex west of Carmona. The site on Sevilla's land might have been connected to other Roman burial grounds. Necropolis. Roman and his team plan to do a lot of research to find out what's happening. Given how vital the find is, Aviles invited Carmona's mayor Juan Avila to his home to see the tomb. Avila used the occasion to praise the city. Archaeology Service also thanking Aviles for his cooperation. The mayor said that the find shows the archaeological wealth of our city. After the burial chamber was found, it was decided that its contents should be added to the Carmona City Museum. 3 of the 6 irons on the site quickly moved into the museum. A collection of glass, ceramic vessels, and some plates have also been transferred. His team was going to do a lot of research on the things they found in the mausoleum, including the human remains they found in the urns. According to Roman, his team thought that one of the urns held the bones of a child or a tiny person. He said they would only know the ages of the people buried in the crypt once they analyzed all the information they had collected. Because of this, a Roman wouldn't say when his team might know more about the burial chamber and the people found there. He told ABC Sevilla that the research was still going on. Ultimately, Aviles was happy that such an important historical site had been found on his property. However, he wouldn't get paid for owning the chamber, and since it was on his private land, the site wouldn't be open to the public. When talking to the local press about the discovery of the crypt in 2019, Aviles said, "When we were building an extension to the house, we never thought we'd find something like this." They said they wouldn't have even gone back to their house to get their things if they were available. However, only some were scared away by the idea of finding historical remains on their property. Another person commented on the same video by the Spanish news agency Europa Press that it must be amazing to see what people were doing 2,000 years ago, even if it is in my house. Amazingly, Aviles is one of many to find Roman ruins while working on their property. In 2016, Luke Irwin, in a wheelchair in the UK, found an ancient mosaic while putting down an electricity cable at his property. Archaeologists found that the saint was part of a sizable Roman building. They thought it was the most extensive villa ever seen in England. It was built between 175 and 220. It was probably the home of an influential person, maybe even an emperor. Irwin told The Independent that the discovery of the villa was unbelievable. And he added, "I have always been interested in history ever since I went to Pompeii as a child, but to find it 20 yards from your front door is mind-blowing." Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell.